All right, what's up, Cowboy Nation, Cowboy Headquarters, and America's team? And here we are. We have a 53-man roster, and I know I'm a little late posting this, but I had to do some serious research. You got people out there just telling you who's on the 53-man roster and things like that, but there's a lot more that goes on behind closed doors with this 53-man roster. And as you know, we released 27 players, okay? And we also turned around and brought 15 players back to the practice squad. So right now, let's go through the names of those that are on the practice squad. We got Cooper Rush, Will Greer, Dontario Drummond, Brett Maher, Tyler Coyle, Malik Davis, Wanye Thomas, Malik Jefferson, Micah Toafua, Isaac Alacon, Alec Lindstrom, Avante Collins, Brandon Smith, Sean McCown, I believe that's how you say it, Carlos Watkins. Those are your practice squad players. Then we also have on reserve Damone Clark. He's on Damon. He probably kill me if you hear me say that. Damon Clark, and injury reserve is Devontae Bond, Tyron Smith, James Washington, Ian Bunting. So those are the ones that's on injury reserve. So, and I guess you probably asked the question, well, how do we get all these players back if we waive this? See, there's more to the waiver wire than we think. It's kind of like fantasy football. And if any of you guys, girls or ladies, have ever played fantasy football, it's something like that in a way. Only different is when you're dealing with the waiver wire, and I had to do research about this because I was wondering, like, how did we get all these former players back and then they're on the practice squad? Well, what happens is these players go onto the waiver wire if they're not released. If they're released, they're just become, free agents, I believe. So don't quote me on that, but I had to learn this myself. So what happens? So they go on this waiver wire, and like I said, it's something like the fantasy draft, pretty much. The only difference with this waiver wire and the other 31 teams out there, 32 teams, whatever we got out there, is the draft starts with the worst team. So the worst team gets the first pick. Now that first team, the worst team, can pick as many players as they feel the need to pick to put on their team during that time frame. They have a time frame that they can pick. So you go from the worst team, then you go to the next worst team, and they get that time frame to pick as many players they feel that could help their team. So again, that's how the waiver wire works. Teams just can't just start getting on the phone, start saying, hey, listen here, I want you to come over here. And you do have that going on too in the background. I can say that, but it's a lot more to it. We're going to get into that. So what happens? So each team takes their turn to pick. Get down, Elmo. I'm doing the video. Get down. Okay, I'm gonna take you outside. He wants to go outside. We're gonna make this fast. I'll take you outside. So each team has that time frame to pick their players. Okay. So also with that being said, it's again there's a picking order starting with the worst team. So Dallas just so happened was able to sign all those that they put on waivers. Now, you may say that's a good thing. You may say that's a bad thing. I don't know, but it seems to be either other teams and think these players were good enough to bring to their team, or behind closed doors, there's something that they call a gentleman's agreement, where the agent, the player, and the team will kind of do like a little gentleman agreement. Hey, we're going to cut you, but we're going to bring you back. We're going to bring you back. So just hold on. And, people can say what they want to say. People say, well, he got cut. But it's one thing to get cut and not find a job. And it's another thing to get cut and knowing that a team is telling you they're going to bring you back. Everything else doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. Knowing that the team say, hey, we're going to cut you, but we're going to bring you back. So these guys are coming back on a practice squad. Same thing with Will Greer and Cooper Rush. So they're still on a practice squad for right now. They still have 53 men that's active right now. But come game time, they can always bring Cooper Rush up from the practice squad to the active roster. So it's a lot of things going on, manipulating going on behind the scenes, a lot. And this is the business. You're talking about a business. It's no longer a sport. It's a business. So this is what they're doing. And when there's a business, this is a great thing when a team tells you that, hey, we're going to bring you back. So this is what happened. So again, you can say this is a good thing or you say it's a bad thing, that none of our players got picked up. None of our quarterbacks got picked up by other teams. But, they might don't think they think much about our players, but we think a lot about our players. So we was able to bring 15 back, and these are the guys that I just mentioned have came back. We also brought a running back from Atlanta. I can't remember his name, but I think we brought an individual back. So and I understand you probably be asking, why didn't we go out and get a veteran player, and why did we take that risk of going and sign? I don't think it's going to happen until after week 1. And you probably ask, well, why after week 1? Because if you sign a veteran player now and he's on your active roster for game 1, his salary is guaranteed. So if they were to pick up a veteran offensive lineman right now, that veteran's salary would be guaranteed. So they're going to probably wing this thing first week with Tyler Smith at the tackle, and then they'll come back maybe later after week 1 and then sign a swing tackle or something like that. Now what happens is now their pay is not guaranteed. They pay them for each game. And then if they want to cut them, they can cut them and maybe pay them 2 more weeks after that. But it's cut off. There's nothing guaranteed. I know it's a business, but this is how the game is played. So I just wanted to kind of give you a kind of an insight of our 53-man roster and the individuals that we waived and how we were able to bring them back. And this is how we was able to bring them back on the practice squad. And again, not to say that they're going to continue on the practice squad. We got, what was his name? Carlos Watkins. So I'm sure Carlos Watkins will work his way back into the active roster. But who I didn't see TJ Vasher name on here. It was another one I didn't see, TJ Vasher. We also, it was somebody else. We didn't see their name, but TJ Vasher name was not on there. Who else? But yeah, I was kind of upset. But maybe somebody will pick up TJ Vasher, So that was just one name that I noticed that was not on our practice squad. We'll see what happens. But again, I just wanted to take this time and tell you about the business of the waiver wire. So there it is. So now you know how we end up bringing these individuals back to our team. So there you have it. From your boy G, the #1 Cowboy fan, Hampton. So stay tuned, and I will be reporting back to you shortly. Deuces.